What's up, everybody? This is Danny Mathematics. I have another example for us to explore today. And today, guys, we're going to go over example 3 of how to solve percent word problems. And remember, guys, percents fall under the proportionality umbrella, okay? Percents along with ratios, unit rates, measurement conversions, scale factoring, all of those entities or concepts fall under the proportionality umbrella, okay? So with that said, because it's proportionality, we're going to utilize the box method, which is this formula that I have, or this method that I have written on the board right here, okay? Well, we will solve by either cross multiplying or doing the butterfly, okay? Or we can solve by scale factoring. We can either scale factor vertically, right? Because some of these numbers are multiples of each other, or we can scale factor going horizontal, left to right, or up and down, or down and up, or whatever, right? Vertical or horizontally, okay? And remember, guys, whenever we solve percent word problems, the only parts that we have are these 3 parts. 100 would always be 100 because 100 represents the total. So let me also put that in the subject line, okay? The bottom row always represents the total, guys, which is 100 and the whole or whatever we're talking about, okay? The top row is the subject line, right? It's whatever the percent and the part represents, okay? And the percentage and the part is partial of 100 or the whole, okay? So that's why they go in the top row. And we have subject, whatever it is represent, that's what we're gonna put as the top row, okay? So let's go ahead and read this problem. It says, Mrs. Jackie baked 400 cookies for a catering event. While the cookies were cooling off, a kitchen assistant accidentally knocked over a cooling rack and spilled 12% of the cookies onto the floor. How many cookies did not? Let me really underline this. How many cookies did not spill onto the floor? Okay? So the question is asking us how many cookies did not spill onto the floor, right? Okay, remember that, guys. The question is asking us how many cookies did not spill on the floor, okay? So if the question is asking us, guys, and this is based on the partial or part of the whole, because we know that not all cookies spilled onto the floor, right? Then we know that the part and the percent represents how many cookies did not fall or spill onto the floor. So let me go ahead and write that as the subject line. So for percent and part, it represents the cookies that did not spill, okay? That's what the percent and the part is going to represent. They're going to represent the cookies that did not spill onto the floor, right? Now, if you notice, guys, in the problem, they gave us the total, right? Because she baked 400 cookies in total. So we know that's the whole, 400 cookies. Right? But if you notice, guys, the percentage that was given, right, was based on how many cookies fell onto the floor. So let me underline that, right? So it said that the assistant spilled 12%. Remember, guys, the percentage in the part is not based on how many cookies that were spilled. It was based on how many cookies that did not fall onto the ground or spill off the rack, right? So in order for us to find out that percentage of how many that did not spill, I have to subtract 12% from 100%, right? So I have 100, oh, I'm sorry. Let me do it's the percent, my bad, I'm sorry. So I have 100% minus, let me just erase this from now, minus 12%. So I have 100% minus 12%. 100 minus 12 is 88. So if 12% of the cookies fell onto the ground or spilled onto the ground, then it's safe to say that 88% did not spill into the ground. So that's the percentage that we're going to use, not the 12%, because that represents the cookies that spilled onto the ground. The question is asking how many cookies did not spill into the ground, okay? So it's actually 88%, right? but we don't know how many cookies actually spilled onto the ground. We just have the total number of cookies that was there and the percentage of cookies that did not spill onto the ground. So we don't know how many cookies spilled onto the ground, so I'm gonna put an X, but we can solve for that. And once again, I just wanna just put this so we can understand the percent and the part both represent cookies that did not spill. Did not spill. Okay? That's what they represent, right? They just represent the cookies that did not spill onto the ground or onto the floor, okay? So let me show you by cross multiplying first, and then I'm gonna solve this problem, the same problem, by scale factor. So let's do the cross multiply method first. Cross multiply, okay? So first, guys, we're going to cross multiply. I'm gonna put a little, let you know that's the first method we're gonna use, okay? We're gonna cross multiply. Go ahead and draw the box method. And I want us to label our rows. It's always good to label your rows because that will help you know or help you put the values in their correct positions, okay? So remember, guys, the bottom subject line or the bottom row always represents the total, right? A number that represents total is 100, right? 100%. The 100 actually means 100%, but I just put 100, right? And the whole or the total number of cookies that were there were 400. The number of cookies that were baked, the total number of cookies that were baked were 400, right? Now the subject line is representing the percentage and the number of cookies that did not spill. So let me put that, did not spill, okay? Right? Since 12% of the cookies did spill, that means 88% of the cookies did not spill. All right, so I'm gonna put 88 right here. Okay, and we don't know exactly how many cookies that did not spill onto the floor. We don't know the exact number. So what I'm gonna put is, I'm gonna put an X right there, okay? Now, we're ready to cross multiply, guys. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. Always multiply X with whatever number that's diagonal with X, which is 100 in this case. So I have 100 times X, which is 100X. Let me write it right here. 100X, okay, equals the opposite side, which is gonna be the other two numbers that are diagonal, which is 88 times 400. Okay, 88 times 400. So now let me go ahead and just do that simple math real quick. 400 times 88. Once again, I can cross out these zeros and just do 88 times 4 and then reattach those zeros. So 88 times 4 is 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 8 is 32 plus 3 is 35. Then I reattach those two zeros. So it's actually 35,000, right? 200. 35,200. And I just want to just check just to make sure that it's correct. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I just want to check to see if that's correct, guys. Okay, so. Yes, that is correct, guys. That is correct. So 88 times 400 is 35,200. I just want to make sure that I did that correctly. Equals 100x. Okay? Once again, guys, in order for us to find out the value of x, we got to divide both sides by the value that's attached to x, okay? Which is 100. All right? So I'm going to divide both sides by 100. So 100x divided by 100 is just x, right? And then 35,200 divided by 100. Remember, guys, whenever you're dividing, if the numbers have zeros in the ones place, you can cross out those zeros, right? Boom, boom. because 35,200 divided by 100 is just like saying 3,520 divided by 10. Once again, 3,520 has a 0 in the ones place, and 10 has a 0 in the ones place. So I can cross out those two zeros. So now I have 352 divided by 1. We all know that a number divided by 1 equals itself. So 352 divided by 1 equals 352. So the part represents how many cookies that did not spill. So it's safe to say that 352 cookies, right, did not spill. Okay, 352 cookies, right, which is 88% of 400 did not spill. Okay, so it's safe for us to say that. All right, now I'm going to solve the same problem, guys, but I'm going to do the scale factoring method. Okay, because remember, guys, some of these numbers are actually multiples of one another, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me put R. You can solve the same problem by scale factoring. If you know your multiples, then scale factoring is easy. Scale factoring. Okay, so let's just act like we didn't solve this problem. We don't know the answer, so I'm just going to resolve it. I'm going to set it back up the same way that I did earlier. Okay, 100. Once again, this is the total subject line, and this subject line represents the part in the percent, which is the number of cookies that did not spill, or the percentage of cookies that did not spill. Okay, 88% did not spill. We acting like we don't know the number of cookies that did not spill, but we know that there was 400 total cookies, right? So once again, I'm just setting the problem back up the way that it was set up originally, right? But I'm just doing a different method. So once again, guys, remember, scale factoring is understanding that a number can be a multiple of another number, right? So for example, 8 is a multiple of 2 because if I multiply 2 times 4, I will equal 8. So 8 is a multiple of 2. So we can either scale factor vertically, up and down, or left to right, or right to left, okay? Depending on the position of X, which once again, it can work either way, all right? So X is at the top right corner, right? So if it's at the top right corner, either I can work from bottom to top, or I can work from left to right. I'm choosing to work from left to right because I know that 400 is a multiple of 100. 400 is a multiple of 100 because I know that if I multiply 100 times 4, I will equal 400. So if I multiply 100 times 4 to equal 400, I must do the same thing with 88. I must multiply 88 by 4. So let's do that on the side. 88 times 4. Once again, 4 times 8 is 32. I'm gonna carry the 3. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 3 is 35. So 352, right? So once again, 88 times 4 is 352. So it's safe to say that X, which is the number of cookies that did not spill, is 352. Did not spill. So once again, guys, there's 2 different ways for you to find the same answer using the box method, okay? So once again, if you are very comfortable with cross multiplying, use this method, cross multiply, right? The butterfly method. Or if you're comfortable with understanding your multiples and scale factor, you can use the scale factor method, okay? So once again, guys, thank y'all so much, guys, for tuning in. Students or parents, if you know anybody else or any friends or colleagues that need help with math, please tell them about my page because I'm here to help out everybody in math. Math is my passion of mine, and I will do this for free every day, okay? So please spread the word, guys, so more and more people can be more competent in mathematics. Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity. I will talk to you next time.